Namaste everyone, and thank you for joining us for mindful yoga practice. My name is Kathy and this is my awesome husband of 35 years, Dennis, and we're really happy to be bringing this practice to you today. We have a little parable, a little story to share during the practice. It's about potatoes, coffee, and eggs.
So what we're going to do also is after the practice we'll lead into savasana. And for savasana I brought the Native American Indian Flute along for kind of a postlude meditative instrumental to kind of guide you through, into, along, and then out of the savasana. So what we would like to do right now is to begin, come to your feet, come to the front of your mat, and allow yourself to take some time here, kind of sway back and forth, side to side, making your way into kind of a casual Tadasana, not too formal, but just finding your place in your feet. Sway a little bit front to back, sway side to side as you close your eyes. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow the brow to soften. Allow the jaw to soften. But as you soften, feel the integrity of the mountain. Feel the integrity of the support that you feel from the earth as it rises through you. Allow your breath now to be soft, but long and slow and deep. Notice the breath. Notice on the inhalation, the breath moves inward and downward, but you feel a lifting energy through the spine. Notice on the exhalation, the breath moves upward and outward, and you feel a downward energy towards the earth. This upward energy and downward energy, these are the energies that we balance through the practice, the pranavayu and the apanavayu. Feel this upward movement and downward movement. Continuing now with this slow, deep breathing. Engage the back of the throat to a gentle hiss, a gentle ujjayi breath. Allow yourself to arrive here in this moment just as you are. And allow the palms to come together in Anjali Mudra. Let the thumbs touch the heart center. Feel your breath as it moves through the body. And close your eyes here if they are not already closed. As you take your next inhalation, allow the palms to rise to the midline. And you can let your mind's eye view with eyes closed follow the palms upward. And then with an exhale, fold, letting the palms remain together, folding forward. Reaching to the earth, inhale to a half fold, release. Let the palms come back together and allow them to rise through the midline, following the midline of the body, and the palms continue to the sky. Exhale the palms to the heart. Beautiful. Take a breath here. Now on the next inhale, allow the palms to go outward and upward. Add a little back bend here. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhaling to a half fold. Release. Then on the inhale, reverse the swan dive to the sky. And as the palms touch, it initiates the next swan diving forward fold. Inhaling half fold. Release. Inhaling now like a rag doll, the arms kind of hang here. You stack the vertebrae, shoulders come to the ears. Palms return to the heart this time. Take a nice full, long, deep inhalation. Exhale completely. On the next inhale, let the palms go downward and upward, fighting your way into chair. So pause and chair for a moment. Take a moment to really find your stability and strength. As you exhale, let the palms come behind you. Interlace the fingers a natural way. Open the chest. Exhale, fold the torso over the thighs. Inhale, rise up. Release the mudra, release the bind, the palms float. The palms then touch the top. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale to a half fold. Exhale, step your right foot back. Pausing in this lunge, sway the torso a little bit side to side. On the next exhale, press back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale, release the knees, then the chest, then the chin to the mat. Inhale to a gentle cobra. Sway the torso. Then take an inhalation to bring the full expression of your cobra to the midline. And then exhale, press back, down dog. Sway the hips. Take a full breath inward. As you exhale, step the right foot forward. Pausing here, sway the hips a little side to side as we now open the opposite hip. Then step it to the front of the mat, dangling forward fold. Inhaling like that ragdoll once again, arms hang. But the shoulders come to the ears. Palms come to the heart. Inhale, palms outward and upward. Exhaling into chair. Beautiful. Feeling strength and power here as you then release the arms down behind you, but interlace the unnatural way, that other way. Press through the palms as you open the chest to the sky. It's like an offering to the sun. Exhale, fold the torso over thighs. Inhale, rise up, releasing the bind, palms float to the sky, straightening legs. Exhaling, swan dive. Inhaling, half fold. Exhale, stepping left foot back, followed by right foot down dog. Sway the hips a little bit. Now inhale to high plank and pause here. On an exhale, dip the hips towards the earth. Inhale, rise hips to the sky, down dog. Inhale, forward plank. Exhaling, dip hips. Inhale, down dog. Inhale, forward high plank. Exhale, dipping hips. Inhaling, down dog. Beautiful. Take a nice full round of breath here. Then on the base of the next exhalation, choose to walk, step, or float in front of the mat. Inhale to a half fold. Release. And then inhaling, rising like a rag doll. Shoulders come to the ears. Palms return to the heart center. Close your eyes here as you allow your breath to enter the body and exit the body. Enters the body, exits the body. On the inhalation, feeling the potential. On the exhalation, releasing and letting go. Beautiful. Now with the eyes open, take an inhalation as you find your way into chair. On the exhalation, releasing the palms down behind you, interlace the fingers the natural way for you, but take the grip to the right hip. Let the right elbow be directed behind you. So you're in chair with this bind at the right hip. Find a steady gaze with a nice, smooth Ujjayi breath. Allow the inhale to lift the right knee about hip height. On the exhalation, slowly stepping that leg back, finding your way into a crescent warrior, high lunge variation. So really let the exhalation ground you here, but the inhalation is like a buoyant, strong action holding you in place. Another deep inhale. On the exhalation, releasing the bind. On the inhalation, palms float to the sky. Exhale the palms to the heart center. Take a breath. On the next inhale, take a nice twist to the left. Choose to stay there, or maybe you take it to the hook of the right elbow to the left knee. Let the gaze now go out in front of the left foot. Take a nice full deep in-breath. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Twisted prayer chair. Beautiful. Breathe, feel. Notice, but don't force. On the exhalation, releasing the bind, releasing dangling forward fold, and let yourself kind of sway it out a little bit. And then very slowly come back to the ragdoll as you rise. So the gentle Ujjayi breath will bring you up. Shoulders come to the ears. Palms come to the heart. Let the feet find a narrower stance. Tadasana pose. Beginning to feel this practice work through you. On the next inhale, palms go downward, finding chair. Exhaling, palms behind you, but interlacing the other way. Other thumb on top. Taking that bind to the left hip this time. Keeping a steady gaze with a steady core, shifting weight, lifting left knee slightly, hip height. Exhaling, taking that step back, finding your crescent lunge variation. Inhalation is a buoyant flotation that you ride upon. Then releasing the bind, the palms come to the sky. And then the exhale brings them together at the heart. And you choose to simply twist, or you might hook the knee. A gentle press, palm to palm, accentuates that gentle rotation of the spine. Let the gaze go forward. On the next exhale, step to the front of the mat. Chair twist. Exhaling, forward fold, and let yourself dangle it out. So we're really working the rotation and twisting of the spine in this practice, and the flexation of the spine to release any stagnation that might exist along the spine. Slowly on an inhale, rise. Shoulders come to the ears. Palms return to the heart. Beautiful. On an inhale, palms float out, upward. But now we exhale, forward folding. Inhale into a half fold and exhale the right foot back. Plant the rear heel, lifting off into warrior one. So find your warrior one. On the exhale, release the arms downward. On the inhale, we'll do a staged inhale with arms. So it'll be inhale a third, inhale a third, inhale a third, exhale. Pause at the top. Exhale, arms downward. Inhale, arms lift, transitioning to warrior two. So now make that little shift of the feet, finding your warrior two alignment. Think of it from the inside out. Rotate the palms so that the thumbs point upward. Inhale the right arm straight up behind you. Find Gyan Mudra, touch forefinger and thumb of the right palm together. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release that arm down behind your head like you're reaching for an arrow. Then inhale, lift it. Exhale, reach to the left palm. Then inhale, take it back like you're now holding the bow and the arrow. Gyan Mudra, left palm. Then inhale, laterally flex, lifting your aim. Begin a gentle billows breathing here. Continuing for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hold the breath. Exhale, release the breath. Inhale, reverse the warrior to the sky. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Reaching right palm to the sky. Beautiful. On the next inhalation, on the inhale, slowly rise up, reversing warrior with the straight leg. Then parallel the feet, finding 5-pointed star. Beautiful. Inhale, palms lift to the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Let the palms or tented fingers find the mat or the floor. Power through the legs. With a straight spine, inhale, right palm to the sky, twist. Exhale, releasing right palm, planting right palm, taking it to the left side. Twist. Exhale, releasing left palm. Soften the knees. Then very slowly shift your weight towards the left knee. Rotate through, finding lunge. Step to the front of your mat, dangling forward fold. On a slow inhalation, rise. Arms hang. Shoulders come to the ears. Palms return to heart. Take a restorative breath. Then on the next inhale, let the inhale float the palms to the sky. Gaze to the sky, exhaling swan dive, forward fold. Inhaling half fold, exhale stepping left foot back, planting that rear heel, lifting off warrior one. Taking time to find your warrior one. Then on the next exhale, releasing the arms downward as we transition to commence that staged inhalation. Inhaling a third, a third, a third. Inhale, keep it here. Exhale, release. Inhale, palms lift. Exhaling, transition, warrior two. Again, a gentle shift of the hips and heels, making it yours. Keeping the steady gaze, but rotating palms, thumbs pointing upward. Inhaling, left arm to the sky. Gyan Mudra with left palm. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release, bending the arm downward like you're grabbing the arrow with Gyan Mudra. Inhale, lift it up. Exhaling, reaching. Inhale, pulling the string. Gyan Mudra, right palm. Breathe. Then raise your aim. Transitioning, billows breathing. Continuing for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, reversing the warrior, straightening front leg. Exhaling, transition to triangle pose. Left arm reaching to the sky. Beautiful. Checking in the breath, checking in with feeling throughout the body, mind. Then inhale, reversing it to the sky, straight leg. Exhaling, 5-pointed star, parallel feet. From here, narrow the stance a little bit. Feet are pointed outward, maybe at 30 or 45 degrees, softening the knees. Arms come to cactus arms as we find our way to goddess. Touching forefinger and thumb of both palms. Gyan Mudra. Then choosing to press through the balls of the feet. If you want to make it a balance or not. Keeping a steady breath. Keeping a steady core. Keeping a steady mind. Keeping a steady balance. If your legs are vibrating, it means you're just excited to be here right now with us. And we appreciate that. On the next inhale, drop the heels, reach the palms to the sky. On an exhale, swan dive forward fold. Let yourself kind of dangle it out here. Sway a little bit. And then let your sway take you naturally to the right foot. Pivot on the feet, finding lunge. Take a nice full breath here, first inhaling. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Continuing that dangle in a forward fold here at the front of your mat. Head is below the heart. Intellect of the mind is subordinate to the wisdom of the heart here. Breathe. Releasing Ujjayi breath. And slowly rise. You can close your eyes as you arrive here, but let the shoulders come to the ears. A little gentle massage. Releasing shoulders downward. Take a moment here as you might sway a little side to side, front to back. Take a moment here to check in with yourself. How are you feeling mentally, physically, emotionally? Feel the practice work through you.
So standing here on your own 2 feet, bring the shoulders to the ears and drop them down. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, lift them, exhale, drop them. Continue like that. So this movement, we increase the tension in the neck as we lift the shoulders up, and then we drop them down, releasing that tension, so we get nice little neck and shoulder massage. So keep going. You get 3 more here. Take them slow. Inhale up, exhale down. And then now 1 more. Let's start with simple tree pose. So root down through your left foot, bring your right knee up. Place it somewhere along that left leg. Find your drishti, find your focal point. Once the bottom half of your body is steady, take your hands behind you, interlace. Drop those knuckles down. Bring your shoulder blades together. Puff out your chest. You bring those knuckles to your left waist and send that left elbow towards the back of your mat. Leave the right hand where it is. Take the left foot up and hold on to it with your left hand. Drop the right knee down. And the right hand is found the inside of the left arm. You're doing great. One more little balance here. Let go of that bind with your right hand. Take the left knee up in the air. Hold on to it with your left hand. Let your right hand go behind you. Twist a little. If you want to challenge yourself, take your gaze to your right thumb. You got 2 breaths right here. And drop that right leg. Shake out that left one. And let's check out the other side now. So we're going to send roots down the right leg for tree on this side. Left foot lifts, finds its place on the right leg. Take your time getting set up in these shapes. If it takes you a minute or 2 to get into it, that's all right. And then find your bind behind you. Interlace those fingers, drop them down. So So when you find the bind, when you interlace your fingers, if you can just make a mental habit of switching it up every time. Don't go to your normal go-to. Right, take that clasp to your right waist and send the right elbow towards the back of your mat. Leave the left hand where it is. The right hand reaches down, finds that left foot, the toes, left knee gently drops down. You're in half lotus tree with a little bind. Fingers of the left hand, you're in the inside of the right elbow. Release that bind behind you. Let the left knee go to the sky. Hold on to it with your right hand. Left hand goes behind you. Maybe the gaze goes back there as well. 2 breaths. And release. Shake it all out. That's a challenging one. So come on down to a squat. So separate your feet to the distance that works for you for your squat. Come on down. Place your hands on the mat. You might choose to stay right here in your squat, which I'm going to do, or you may go into crow balance, which Dennis will demonstrate if you want to place those knees on the backs of the arms and magically lift the toes off the mat. One more breath. Very nice. Now come into sage pose, also known as rock pose. So you're sitting on your heels. Knees are together. And take your hands behind you and lean back. Lean back a lot. And puff your chest up here. If it feels good for your neck, you might drop your head back. Can you extend through your sternum even more? And bring yourself back upright. Now see if you can lift your knees off the mat. You got to find this little balance point where your knees can come up. You probably have to lean back a little. And then, for extra credit, see if you can take your hands up in the air or not.
Or not.
Or not. But just try. All right, bring the knees to the mat. Come into tabletop. Take an inhale, drop your belly, look up, and stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Keep the belly down. Inhaling and exhaling 3 times. Lower the belly even more. Now we're moving into dragon or lizard. So you're going to scooch that right hand a little closer to the left hand. Right foot comes up on the outside of that right hand. And you might need to scooch your left knee back. Flatten that left foot. This might be challenging for you. You could use some blocks under your hands if you need to. See if you can't just get a nice stretch through the front of the left hip flexor. And the right hip. Feel free to move side to side, just coaxing that hip open. And then choose to stay right there, or maybe turn the right foot a little more to the right and come up to the blade of the right foot and slip on down to your elbows. Now this may not be happening for you, and that's quite okay. Just breathe into that right hip. Our hips get tight from lots of things. Walking, running, cycling, sitting. Take 2 more breaths here. Press your hands into the mat, walk your torso up, and then you're going to just walk yourself back. So you're in a runner's lunge. You can stay right here, kind of lift it up if you'd like, or you might choose to slide all the way back and sit on that left heel turn that left foot sideways a little bit, and then walk yourself over that right leg. You may just come down to touch your knee or your shin, or maybe you find your foot. Drop your head. Come back to focus on your breath here. Let go of that leg or foot, whatever it is, and come to sit on your left hip. And take your right foot around by your left foot. So you're kind of sitting side saddle, if you will. This is called mermaid. And you're twisting to the right, towards those feet. So your left hand's going to go on the outside of that right knee, right hand behind you. Sit up tall and twist. Maybe your gaze goes over that right shoulder. Come back to center, back to table where we started. So this time moving into cat. So the head goes down, the back arches up, and find 3 deep breaths right here, staying in cat shape. See if you can arch a little more with each round of breath. Left hand scooches over closer to the right one. The left foot comes up on the outside. Maybe the right knee slides back for your lizard on this shape. It might feel totally different on this side. That's okay. Most of us are asymmetric in some way. You might find it feels good to go back and forth. And now choosing, if you will, or not, coming to the blade of left foot, down to the elbows. And see how this left hip feels today, and that right hip flexor. Find one more breath here. Pushing your way up. And then choosing to slide back into this half runner's stretch, or all the way so you're sitting on your right heel. Your choice. And then bending forward. So if you've been with us before, online or in person, you know we always like to bring a little story to the practice, add some richness. I love researching and finding new stories to share with everyone. Inhale up. Now you're going to sit on that right hip. Bring the left foot around towards that right one for mermaid. Now we're twisting with the right hand on that left knee, left hand behind you, sit up tall, twist. And unwind to the front and just bring those feet out in front of you and roll to your back. All the way down to your back. Pull your knees into your chest. As you get there, circle it out, making some circles with the knees. Both directions. Plant the feet on the mat, knees pointing up. Set yourself up for bridge pose. So in this bridge pose, the feet are about hip distance apart. When your inhale rolls around, lift those hips up to the sky. And maybe find a different arm placement today. Maybe you always interlace underneath. Maybe today try arms at a T, or even cactus arms. Try something new. Lift those heels off the mat. Come up onto the toes. And then slowly lower down, hips and heels. Come to the mat. Take a breath. And then we're going to take a second one, round two. Can look just like round one. You can do another bridge or full back bend wheel if you're feeling up for it. Just take those hips up to the sky. So this parable I'm going to share with you is about potatoes, coffee, and eggs. Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and dreary. She grumbled that she was tired of fighting and struggling all the time and not really getting anywhere. It seemed that life was just one problem after another. Take one more breath in this bridge or wheel, whatever you've chosen. Slowly lower down. And windshield wiper those knees side to side. Just intermittent speed, nice and slow, side to side. And now find your inversion of choice, something that suits you in this moment. So hips on a block or dead bug, or legs up the wall if you want to scooch up near a wall, shoulder stand, headstand, something you can hang out in for 10 or 15 breaths. So the girl's father was a chef, and he took her to the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high fire. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He then let them sit and boil without saying a word to his daughter. The daughter moaned and impatiently waited, wondering what in the world he was doing. So after 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. He pulled the eggs out and also put them in a bowl. He then poured the coffee out and placed it in a mug. Turning to his daughter, he asked, "What do you see?" And she hastily replied, "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee." "Look closer," he said, and touched the potatoes. She did, and she noted that they were soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma and warmth brought a smile to her face. So find 3 more breaths in this shape that you're in. Come out of your inversion mindfully, slowly. We'll meet up, flat up on our backs, but no rush to get there. Just find your way to your back, taking a few breaths there. The daughter turned to her father and said, "What does this mean?" He then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. Pull your right knee into your chest, give it a little squeeze, and then take that knee over to the left side of your body for your supine twist. Adjusting hips and shoulders as it's right for you. So the father explained to the daughter, the potato went in strong and hard and unrelenting, but in the boiling water it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with a thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior until it was put in the boiling water. Then the inside of the egg became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. Now unwind from your supine tree, let that right leg go long and straight on your mat, and pull your left knee into your chest. Give it a little squeeze, and then take your twist on this side. The father turned to his daughter and said, "Which one are you? When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato? Are you an egg? Or are you a coffee bean?" You see, in life, things happen around us, things happen to us, but the thing that truly matters is what happens within us. We have the power to choose new ways of responding to life in any moment. So which one are you? The potato, the egg, or the coffee bean? And which one will you choose today? Unwind out of your supine. Twist, straighten both legs out for Shavasana. So the legs are open wide, the arms are away from the body, the eyes are closed. And the breath comes back to your natural breath. Nice, quiet, easy breathing here. So I hope during this story it gave you some perspective to life when things happen to you, around you, and how you react to those things.
Softly deepen your breath. Allow your awareness to return perhaps you bring gentle motion to the fingers, the toes, maybe roll your head side to side. Then very slowly roll to your right side. And then from here, press your way up to a comfortable seated position. As you arrive there, allow the eyes to close. Allow the palms to find each other at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Let the thumbs touch your heart, feel your breath, feel your pulse, feel your life. Om Hrim Hamsa Soham Swaha. Om Hrim Hamsa Soham Swaha. This chant is a chant of the powers of the universe are here for you. The universe has your back. The infinitesimal and the infinite converge to support you. Thank you for sharing this practice with us today. Namaste.